Start. Okay, so this is for an advanced level design course where we had to design under the parameters of this physics kit, and I built a Super Mario 64-esque platformer where you have to collect these green soul gems so that your little ghost body can be reunited with its former self. This first part of the level is an interactive tutorial where the player is exposed to all the mechanics. So here we see that throwing blocks is a core mechanic, and we discover that after we realize that we can't make this jump, and throwing the blocks is the only thing we have. And then from the block throwing, we get this platform. And then here we see some enemies, and we realize that we can't make the jump to the other side, but the enemies are held back, so the only thing we can do is jump on top of them and land on them. And we hop from one enemy to the next, and then that gives us the necessary distance. I messed it up, but it gives us the necessary distance to clear that gap. So that teaches us jump on top of enemies to receive added height, as well as killing enemies. Fine. This section here teaches us that these blue blocks are movable. And so the idea here is that we want to demonstrate to the player that you can move these blue blocks to do whatever it is that you need them to do. And for this particular point, we're essentially building stairs. So we put the 4 blocks in place. I didn't think it would make that gap. Look at that. And then the player will get over here, and then that gives them the distance they need to get over here, where we see another blue block, and we move that block in place, and then we can slide on the zip line into this section, where we have a little, I don't want you anymore zip line, we have a little hut, and we learn that green is to close the doors and red is to open the doors. And then we have to wait for this platform, because that's part of platforming games, is waiting for platforms. As long as I'm waiting for the platform, I'm going to emphasize that this was modeled after traditional Super Mario 64 platformers. I'm also going to not do a perfect 150 cube run, just because I want to expose the level, and the level's already pretty sizable as is. And that there, the platforms exposed us and taught us that you aren't parented to a platform. So if you jump in the air, the platform will move underneath you rather than you traveling with it. And that yellow enemy showed us that the yellow enemies bounce you higher. And if I had sat there and spent some time on it, we could have also learned that the yellow enemies don't die. So here we don't have the height necessary to get up there. So the only option is to smash boxes, as that's what we've already done. And this is kind of a culmination of everything. You can see we've got boxes, we've got these yellow cubes. And so we smash this last box, and it goes to a yellow player, which we control both the players using the same keystrokes. So blue bro and yellow bro are controlled by one keyboard. And so you can do interesting things like this, and then through this we have the necessary height. And as you can see here, yellow bro and blue bro are controlled by the same person, and we can have blue bro run this way, and he'll pop out, and yellow bro is still there where we left him, and yellow bro somehow ended up in the lava. Don't quite know how that happened. It's gonna happen again though, because yellow bro is difficult and it's dangerous. Oh, sweet, I pulled it off. Okay, so you can already get a sense of where the challenge in this game comes. You kind of have to manage 2 players at once, and you have to make sure that you're keeping track of everybody, and that yellow bro and blue bro both stay out of trouble. And so that'll get pretty convenient up here in a bit, because we'll have yellow and blue bro fly away section, and we'll avoid all these enemies. And we can send yellow bro in there, and we can just kind of stash him. So now yellow bro's stashed in there, and I'm going to spend the time clearing out the enemies from this section so that it'll be easier for yellow bro to actually come through here, because there will be a necessity for yellow bro to come through here. So yeah, like I said, as long as we have a little bit of that time, like I said earlier, I modeled this off of Super Mario 64, what with the green soul gems are simulating the yellow coins. The level design itself, you can't really see it because this camera doesn't have an up-looking function, but the level design itself is based around the level in the first part of the game where you had to kill the stone tablet guys that had the band-aids on their back, and that was when we got exposed to thwomps. And so it's very reminiscent of that. Almost everything in with the lava that you die, but it'll also bounce you out. There's a nice little bouncer puzzle that I'm not going to do just because, in the interest of time. So it's very reminiscent of Super Mario 64 and, you know, classic platformers, in that you have a very wide open level that's easy to navigate but kind of hard to interact with and difficult to master. So what's nice is, as we come around here, we'll recognize that, just got to clear that bit, yellow bro is still right where we left him, in the little hut thing, which is nice. And so the story continues with more movable platforms, which is, you know, integral to any platformer game. And so now here we have to kind of park it and wait for that platform. So overall, it's a really fun game. I designed it in a way that the player has a ton of free choice. So the player can either, you know, for example, blue bro, we have yellow bro parked, so you can park yellow bro and then you can run around with blue bro, and then that will allow the player to kind of clear everything out with blue bro. And then I got lag at the perfect moment. Alright, that's fun. Alright, so now we're going to get to wait again. It's really, really entertaining. So, perhaps every couple minutes it stops a recording and starts a new recording. And that was just the absolute worst moment that it could happen. So, but it looks like the platform's on the rebound, so that's nice. But as I was saying, you can clear out the top section or the bottom section with blue bro, or really the whole level, and then just kind of grab yellow bro and have them follow you. Or you can have like blue bro up top and yellow bro down below and kind of try to do like a dual clear, or just have yellow bro avoid people. So there's a ton of different options that the player has, which is obviously what we want in any game. So here, I'm too busy talking about options, but here the platform is, because you're not parented to the platform, you're not stuck to the platform, so you kind of have to keep running with the platform. And that's one aspect that's adds some challenge. I added challenge with lighting, surprisingly, in that the player doesn't have a shadow, and the back half of the mountain, for lack of a better term, tower, or whatever you want to call it, is completely encased in shadow, so the player can't rely on lighting in that regard. They kind of have to rely on their own visual gauging of platform distances and skills. So overall, it's a really challenging platformer. You know, it has this nice cartoony feel to it, but it's certainly not for the faint-hearted. It's definitely a challenging game. And then, oh Jesus, that was close. And then yeah, I did a couple interesting things with
the soul gem placements that make the game a little bit challenging. I'm not going for them right now just because I want to demonstrate the full capacity of the level rather than do the perfect run. But it definitely provides a challenge. So here's kind of where you see that challenge in lighting. So these two platforms aren't perfectly well lit, so you kind of have to. That was interesting. That's never happened before. So these two sections are lit super well, so you kind of have to keep an eye out for them and mess around with some cameras. So this little enemy bounces you higher and higher and higher, which we've already learned, but you know, it's fun to do it again. And then I'm gonna clear this out a little bit so that I can go grab yellow bro. And then we'll finish out the level, which I really like how the level ends. You end up at the top of the tower, but obviously we'll see how the level ends because I'm going to beat it here pretty soon. Yellow, we can, every time I jump, we can see the ones high in the air if you look at the top, but soul gems that you have to bounce on these yellow guys for. More boxes to smash. It's just, there's a lot of different things that keep the players' attention and repeated things that are done over and over again that if you use them at different levels, they can be played in with different ways. So here's an example of that. This blue block, you can Spartan kick it into the water, and then if you ride it down, I'm not going to, but if you ride it down and it'll land, even if you don't ride it down, with that little extra added height, it's enough to get all those boxes that are down there. But I'm going to go get yellow bro, and we're going to win the game. So we unlock yellow bro, and there we go, yellow bro. And of course, an important part of this game is keeping yellow bro as close to you as you possibly can, so we're going to keep in nature with that. And now blue bro and yellow bro are quite literally right next to each other. So because you control yellow bro, but you don't really always have yellow bro on screen, it's important to know where yellow bro is at all times. So that's an important aspect of the game, is recognizing where you are and where yellow bro is, especially if you don't park yellow bro, which, like I was talking about earlier, is one of the strategies. So there's a lot of different ways to play the game, and even though it's the same space, there's a lot of different ways to interact with the space. I hope that I can do what I want to do here without. Alright, that is indeed what I want to do. So, jump. It's going to be problematic. Oh, maybe not. Alright, so yeah, you can kind of see here that getting the two bros to work together is not always the easiest of tasks. Alright, I'm going to try and... Oh, that was skillfully done by me. I've never seen that glitch before. That's really interesting. But it's going to make this part problematic. Alright, so now yellow bro and blue bro are at the same phase of the game and ready to continue. So again, you have to keep track of yellow bro because he's off the camera now. So this is where that challenge aspect really comes in, is recognizing and knowing and understanding where yellow bro is. So I can't just kind of run all willy-nilly through all these enemies, because if I do that, then yellow bro, you know, I'm kind of leaving yellow bro hung out to dry. So I'm going to use the wall to reset with yellow bro, and then we're going to continue on our way. So and obviously, nice little player switch there. Yellow bro was in front, and now blue bro is in front. So, enemies gonna... Yeah, and you can see like the one dude goes after yellow bro, and yellow bro just killed that guy, even though he was attacking blue bro for a decent amount of time there. So, these little boxes are placed conveniently to basically do some player resets, which is nice because that's an integral an important part of the game. So now we've got yellow bro and blue bro all together, and we're going to try and do some nice tandem trampoline work, which is not always the easiest thing, but hopefully we'll pull it off. We're doing pretty well for ourselves so far. That's problematic. Oh no, look at that, we pulled it off. And there's tons of enemies. I'm going to try and avoid all of them as best I can. We're going to have to fight this guy. Come at me, bro. Look at that. Wrecked. Oh, shit. I didn't even have time for that to happen. Alright, so there. This actually makes things a ton easier, and you can kind of see how everything works out in the end. Because here we have a yellow enemy, and these are the super jumpers. And I don't know where yellow bro went. Alright, so that's a glitch. Honestly, I'm just going to play it out because this has been very problematic, this video for me so far, because things like that keep happening. But the idea is you would get yellow bro up here, you would park him in here, and then you would come around to this section, and this turns into a barrel hopping game, for a lack of a better term, that I might have to retweak. Oh no, look at that. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. Bummer. Alright, so yeah, this is basically a barrel hopping game where the idea... Oh, I'm not gonna make that. That was dumb of me. Where you have to hop in between these platforms constantly, and this one you gotta kind of ride out a little bit. I forgot about that. And then you end up there. And this one's a little bit fatter, so you can catch yourself in there, and then sink once, and then rise again, and then sink twice, and then rise again. And you can end up in this big one right here, and that one will send you sky high, and you land there on the nice little target. And then again, I have no idea why yellow bro and blue bro started super launching each other, but you'll park, smash that, you'll use this box to set it up kind of, alright, it'll go away. Basically, you end up with yellow bro on top of you, and you collect these last 4 soul gems, and then that's when yellow bro and blue bro will become fused together, and then that'll be the end of the game. So I'll run in and I'll tweak those last couple glitches, which make it problematic, but this is like I've been working on this video for a good amount of time, so you know, you get the general idea. Overall, it's a really fun game. There's tons of free player choice, and it plays differently in every single way, and you have to keep track of yourself, and you have to keep track of yellow bro. And I'm really happy with how it turned out from a gameplay standpoint and a level design standpoint. I think it's pretty awesome. So yeah, thanks for watching.